You're watching New Car Spin. This is the Toyota GR86. It's basically a Subaru because they make it for Toyota. So it's a very weird car. It's got great bucket seats. It's got, an automatic. Yep. So it's not really a sports car then, is it? Heated seats, which don't self-cancel. It's got a sport button, which isn't really that sporty. It has auto climate control. It has a stop start button that gets really close to your knee inconveniently, but it has radar cruise. It has emergency auto braking, a digital display here. If you put it into sport mode, it changes a little bit, but if you put actually track mode on, which changes the traction control, you get nice gauges, I guess. And then here we have a way to change the display. You could go through all these things. I have it on tire pressure because why not? Actually, when we got this car, it had 200 miles on it. Toyota dropped it off. So it was just basically fresh off of the Toyota, probably from the Toyota HQ in Plano, because I'm not too far away from there. And the tire pressures were like 43 PSI. So I dropped them down here to 35, and then of course the temperature dropped today. It says 53 degrees. It was like 91 a couple days ago. So yeah, but the tires are very nice tires. They're Michelin Pilot Sports. What are they? What are they? Yeah, Pilot Sport 4. In the rear they are 215/40 on blacked out 18-inch wheels. You'll see this spoiler here, which everyone has said, hey, what is that, a Supra? I'm like, no, it's a Subaru. So we also have, what do we have on the front for the size? 215/40 in the front. So it has a 4-cylinder boxer engine. It is a Subaru engine. It just says Toyota on the cover and some Toyota badging around it. The glass doesn't even say Toyota. Yeah. It's not really a Toyota, is it? And that's the weird thing, because we all know that the Supra is a BMW, and Toyota went out of their way to say, oh yeah, you know, the BMW, we went through the engine and we changed the components to make it, I don't know, more Toyota or robustness or reliability like. But I never heard of anything about the Subaru version, which, as we all know, the boxer engine is what it is. This one's non-turbo, so it's naturally aspirated. And I would think, why don't you just get a 4-cylinder Supra? Okay, I'm gonna give it a quick drive because it's not as fun as the manual. So put it in drive, sport mode. There we go. Let's see what it sounds like. Thankfully, I don't have any gears to shift. Do it from a stop. So the 86 is a nice car to have if you're 16 or 18, but as a real adult, there's not enough power. Something to note is that when you do get one of these brand new, at least I know for the last couple of years, new buyers of these GR86 models actually got a subscription or a 1-year membership to NASA. And I'm not talking about the rocket company, because obviously this is not much of a rocket, but it's actually it's the National Auto Sport Association. And it seems like they just made that up to make it sound cool, like NASA. But essentially, as boring as this car is, it does handle very well, and it is good to learn with on the track before you get to something with more serious power. Obviously, rear-wheel drive helps, and the price of this one, being that it's the premium, is $36,000. And I actually would not recommend it. I would recommend the manual bone stock version, because that's really all you need in a car that's intended to be a fun, light, sporty car. We don't need all of this stuff on here. But I'm still glad Toyota gave me one for the week to try out, because it really reassures that proposition that if you're looking for a light, fun, sporty car to chuck around, you just need to get the bone stock one, because even then it still includes the limited slip diff. So why wouldn't you do that? The only thing that concerns me, especially when you see things like that going by you, what are we doing? We're doing 72. He's probably doing 90. You know, you want to be in a modern vehicle, especially if you're young. That way you're safer. But this one would check those boxes off, except it's kind of old. And I don't think they did much other than a refresh, but it's been around for a long time. And I feel like at this point, you know, the Supra would be a better deal if you're looking for something faster or something more, I don't want to say practical, but something sportier. And so if you're a teenager, like literally 16, 17, 18, 19, your benefit here is that there's a back seat, but there's not much of a back seat. And then other than that, you know, the Supra doesn't have a back seat. But I would just say if you're an adult and you're like over 27 years old, this car might be fun if you just want to have a track day or whatever, but it's not a good daily for commuting and stuff. It is nice to have as a spare car, but I would still say if you're going to afford a spare car, the Supra would be more likely a deal car, a better deal for a car. I mean, passing takes forever, so you really get to learn how to be balanced on the track, and the suspension is sort of okay. But I think that the Supra is much more car. Obviously, it's like 10 grand more than this loaded one. But if you're like, oh, I'm going to buy one and then I'm going to add all this stuff to it, you might as well just get the Supra. So I'm not saying this thing's a pile of crap. I'm saying I'm just way too old for it. I'm not understanding it anymore. But if I was young, I'd be like, oh yeah, just get one of these. And, you know, they don't really make many rear-wheel drive cars anymore that don't weigh much. And I remember driving the manual one and saying, I wish it had manual windows. I really do. Like, I wish they really, really, really pared this car down to nothing, because it does remind me of a 90s, early 1990, actually, Toyota Celica, even though this actually isn't a Toyota, it's a Subaru. But there you go. The stereo is pretty nice here in the premium model. You can't really see much out of that rear view mirror because the ducktail spoiler sticks up a little bit more. So yeah, rear visibility is a little bit less than normal, and that's it. You know, it's a Toyota GR86. It's an okay looking car. Two people that I know have mistaken it for a Supra. I don't know why, but they have. If we go back into normal mode, there we go. Steering wheel is still firm. It's a little less communicative, but it still feels good in normal mode. And that's all I got for you. It's a slow, lazy Sunday. Toyota HQ is right over there, by that massive building that way. Yeah, that's it. So as you can tell, there's a lot of road noise, there's some tire noise, hardly any wind noise, so it's good there. But I would just say it's an interesting car if you're going to be buying it as a second car. But if you're 16 or you're a young driver and you want a new car, you obviously don't need this premium version. But I mean, it would be cool to have some stuff done to it. Just don't go over the top. And other than that, if you're looking for something sportier, there are other cars out there. This is not something that I would pass over, but I would just think that I personally am a little disappointed with the amount of power this thing puts out. You got to really wring it out and take it to the red line, and this automatic does not help with that. It really disconnects from the fun. So if you're gonna buy one of these and you really want one of these, get the manual and stick with the bone stock version, and you can have some pretty good fun and hand it down to someone else later on and share the joy. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.